I consider myself a Talmud of Rav Shimshon Pincus, Zichat Tzadik L'Vrachal. I never had the schus to meet him through his Sfarim, through his lectures. So a bunch of years ago, he came here. I was in Zercha to be in Eretz Yisrael, and I came here to daven at the Kfarim of my grandparents. Actually, then my grandmother was still alive. Rabbi from a Cohen. My grandfather, Zichat Tzadik L'Vrachal, Rav Yaakov Meir Cohen, came to daven at their kever. And afterwards, I very much wanted to daven by the kever of Shimshon Pincus. Only problem, I didn't know where he was buried. The office was closed. It was a national holiday. And I decided, last day I was leaving from Eretz Yisrael to go back to Chutz La'aretz. And so I decided I was going to go look around for his kever. As you could see, there's thousands and thousands of kfarim here in Har Tamir and Har Menuchot, and looking for a needle in a haystack. And at one point I said, Rav Shimshon, please help me. I want to come daven at your kever. Of course, there was no way. How was I going to find his kever? And I'm walking and walking and walking. Finally, I get back down and have to leave because it's my last day in Eretz Yisrael. And I come back down to the office area, which was closed that day. And I asked a few people, and lo yodim. Pincus, lo. My brother called his Rosh Yeshiva, the Rebbe, and said she remembered it was high up. Now, high up doesn't really help so much. Everything here is high up. So I said, I'm going to ask one more person. I asked a few people. I asked one more person. If that's it, then what can I do? So I asked one more person, and I got the lo yodim. And that was it. So I went to wash my hands, and my brother waves me over, and he says, oh, you come here. This person knows. The person took us to the next person. And he says, oh, Pincus, makes a phone call. He says, oh, tavo. You get into his car, drive up, and he drives us back up the hill, very close to where my grandfather was. I must have walked, for an hour, walking all over the place looking. And he drives us up to where my grandfather was. And would you believe, Shimshon Pincus' kever is not that far from my grandfather. So I was very excited. And I quickly rushed over. It was already late by now. And I had to get ready to leave. It's the kever of Rabbi Gamliel Rabinovich's father, Zichat Tzadik L'Vrachal. So I very excitedly went to go daven for Rabbi Shimshon's kever, and I decided I'm going to open up my Tehillim randomly. I'm going to say 3 prakim of Tehillim. And it opened up to Samach Aleph. Wonderful. Samach Aleph has the word man in it, which is very interesting, because the Rebbitzin, who's also buried here, Rebbitzin Miriam Pincus, Sadekas L'Vrachal, her maiden name was Man. Okay, I say Samach Beis, and I say Samach Gimel. I'm saying Samach Gimel, and I had a moment that I cannot describe in words. I thought I was going to faint. My brother and my son were with me. My brother said, what's wrong? I said, I can't believe it. I just can't believe it. He said, what's the matter? You look pale. There's a pasuk there in Samach Gimel that I only know from Rav Pincus, Zichat Tzadik L'Vrachal, from his lectures. And I read the schus to meet him. I listened to so many of his lectures. The pasuk says, Ki tov chastecha mechayim, tzvasa yishabchuncha. Your chesed Hashem is greater than life. My lips will praise you. And Pincus said a mashal over from the Malbim. The Malbim says, there was a person who was deathly ill. And the doctor helped him, nursed him back to life. And he finally left the hospital. Someone asked him, what happened to you in the hospital? He said, well, this doctor saved my life, and we became very, very close friends. And he said, well, what's more precious to you? What's more precious to you, the fact that he saved your life, or the fact that you became best friends? He says, well, it's always good to have close friends, but if you're dead, it doesn't really help. Of course, the fact that he saved my life is more precious to me. Says the Malbim, says Dovra Melech, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Dovra Melech says not that way. Ki tov chastecha mechayim. Your chesed is greater than life itself. What's the greatest chesed of all? Sfasa yishabchuncha, that my lips can praise you. And that pasuk, which I've heard from him and read from in his Sfarim, and I had heard it from him on different recordings, that was a pasuk that I came to randomly. Incredible moment. Schos of the Heilige Tzaddik of Shimshon David. Zichat Tzadik L'Vrachal. Shmi Meilitz Yosher for all of us. My family, I'm zochet to have a son named after him, Shimshon David. Should be zochet to have Yeshuas and Achomas for all of Klal Yisrael.